Sensor function groups. External sensor data, such as position, speed, and heading, will be displayed and monitored in the permanent area. The following sensor information items are displayed in the function groups below. Heading and speed. Indicators and readouts for the system's main sensors for heading, speed through water, speed and course over ground, as well as indicators and readout of set and drift, which are computed by the system based on selected sensors or set manually by the operator. Position WGS 84. Latitude and longitude of primary positioning sensor referring to the set reference point of the ship and its related sensor source. Color code and symbol. To allow easy identification in the permanent area, the system provides symbols in front of the fields in the field groups heading and speed and position WGS 84. The following statuses are possible. No symbol, valid sensor data. The selected sensor connected to the ECDIS is available and functioning properly. Yellow circle. The value has either been entered manually by the operator, partly or completely, or it's affected by manually set sensor data. Red diamond. Disconnected sensor or sensor signal is missing. Sensor alerts. When a sensor source is lost, the system will trigger a visual warning in the alert line. The status of sensor data in the permanent area will change. An audible signal will arise. Sensor monitoring. The system provides the sensor integrity monitoring feature that's used to cross-check the accuracy of the main position sensor with the secondary position sensor. Click on Settings and select Sensor Integrity Monitoring. Activate the checkbox of the desired sensor and the feature will start comparing between the sensor data of the primary selected sensor and the secondary sensor, which is waiting in standby mode. The primary sensor is the unit in use for navigation. It can be selected in the function group Heading and Speed and position WGS 84 of the permanent area. The secondary sensor can be selected with the drop-down selection menu and works as a backup sensor. The column Difference shows the difference between the selected pieces of sensor information. The column Limit displays the maximum allowed difference values until an alarm is triggered. To adjust the limit values, click on the respective drop-down menu. Each monitoring function generates an individual monitoring alarm if the limit is exceeded. These types of alarms end with differ. At the end of the position lines, there are drop-down menus to adjust the limit. This may be done either automatically by clicking on Auto or manually by clicking on Manual. Note: information of the same type can be monitored only. A wrong selection will trigger a caution. Validity and accuracy. An exclamation mark symbol will be displayed if the sensor has not passed the plausibility check. In any case, if the sensor monitoring fails or provides an alert, an additional caution mark will be shown in the permanent area. Hover over the symbol and the message "Integrity verification's not possible" appears. Alert generation conditions. A warning will be triggered whenever an entered limit is exceeded which has been adjusted in the sensor integrity monitoring. In this case, it might be necessary to check, for example, the main position sensor or the selection of another primary position source. If a sensor which is used as primary sensor is lost, a warning with an indication will be triggered in the alert list, for example, position timeout or position invalid. Additionally, a red diamond will appear in the permanent area. If a sensor which is used as secondary sensor is lost, a silent caution will be triggered with the indication lost in the alert list. If a sensor which is neither used as a primary sensor nor as a secondary sensor is lost, a silent caution will be triggered with the indication lost in the alert list.
Backup sensor. All navigational sensors of the system are factory assembled in a hierarchical order. This order follows the sensor quality and accuracy. High accuracy sensors are defined as main or primary sensors in the system. Sensors with a lower accuracy are defined as redundant or secondary backup sensors. For example, a main position fixing device, such as a DGPS, can have a redundant GPS unit. If all sensors have the same grade of accuracy, the hierarchical order will be selected by definition with numerical order. Alternatively, both sensors can be selected as primary sensor. The primary sensor is used for decision support. The secondary sensor is not used for decision support by the operator. Instead, it is used for sensor monitoring, or it is used in standby. Auto selection mode. The system provides two modes of sensor selection: automatic selection mode, auto mode, indicated with auto, and manual selection mode. To select the auto mode for a primary sensor, two steps are necessary. First, the auto mode has to be activated for the desired sensor. To do this, click on Settings and select Sensor Properties. All sensors are listed in columns. A sensor is available for auto mode if the corresponding checkbox has been activated. The operator can select the devices for automatic replacement of sensor sources. Second, the auto mode is now available and has to be selected for the desired sensor. To do this, open the Sensors drop-down menu in the permanent area. For example, open the Position drop-down menu and select the sensor source with the indication Auto. Manual selection mode. To activate the manual selection mode for a sensor, open the respective drop-down menu and select the desired source. For example, click on the Position drop-down menu and select a sensor source without the indication Auto, such as DGPS1. Note: in case of a sensor failure, and if the manual sensor selection is activated, the operator has to manually select another sensor from the above-mentioned drop-down menu. Switching units. In the system, all sensor units are preset by the manufacturer and cannot be changed by the user. Position sensor selection. To view the position coordinates, click on the drop-down menu in the Position WGS84 field of the permanent area and hover over a position sensor. Auto DGPS1, DGPS1 or DGPS2. To activate the desired position sensor, click on it. The manual DR mode can be activated if no DGPS is available. DR, dead reckoning. In the event of total GPS failure, the ECDIS provides the option to switch to dead reckoning. Click on the drop-down menu of the position sensor and select Manual DR. As long as Manual DR is selected, the manually entered position will be taken as a basis for all further position calculations. Note: the DR starts with the last valid position data received. For example, the data might have been received from the DGPS. Set Estimated button. Since the accuracy of the dead reckoning position is very poor, the position error is increasing over time. The operator can correct the current position by entering the desired value. Therefore, click on the drop-down menu of the position sensor and select Set Estimated. Enter the desired position in the Set Estimated Position window. To activate it, click the Set button. In addition, the Line of Position (LOP) function can be used to correct the position during dead reckoning mode. For detailed information, see topic 341, LOP, Position Fix. Position offset. If a constant deviation is known, the position error must be corrected manually for the respective positioning system. To correct the position manually, click the Adjust button in the Position WGS84 field. Enter the offset values in the Position Adjust window and select Set to confirm. Note: this function is blocked during the use of the Track Pilot Platinum in track mode. The manual inputs are marked with a yellow dot in front of latitude, longitude. These changes are valid system-wide. Heading, gyro. If more than one heading sensor is available, the operator can choose which one to use for heading. If the vessel is only fitted with one heading sensor, the system will use it as primary heading sensor. To change the heading device, open the Heading drop-down menu in the permanent area and select the desired sensor from the list, either in auto mode or manual mode. For more details, see instructions 42103 Auto Selection Mode and 42104 Manual Selection Mode. course over ground. In contrast to the heading of a vessel, the course over ground consists of several other components coming from environmental influences and the ship's own characteristics. The course over ground will be calculated as follows. By using the heading and the electroacoustic log working in bottom track mode. By using the measured values of a bottom backup sensor and additional information, such as drift and set, manual input, or water track sensor information. By using the difference between own ship's positions within a specified time, GPS. Note: the course over ground and speed over ground instruments in the permanent area display course and speed over ground as a data pair, describing the direction and the length of the speed vector over ground. Manual input. With the ship's standard installation, the selection of Manual is not available in the heading drop-down menu. With this limitation, the system meets the requirements of approval authorities. In a simulator environment, training stations can be equipped with this feature. Speed through water sources. Log. To adjust the source of the speed through water, click on the Speed Through Water drop-down menu and select the desired source. The speed vector indication in the form of a triangle is located next to the STW letters. It shows the direction of the vector addition, as well as the own ship's longitudinal and transversal speed through water. Note: very often, the water speed logs provide the speed through water in longitudinal direction only. These are called single-axis logs. Due to the missing transversal speed, the indication of the resultant course through water is equal to the heading marker's direction. The system's speed vector shows an arrow if water has been selected as a reference in the vector and trail field of the permanent area. Speed over ground source. In contrast to a vessel's speed through water, the speed over ground consists of several other speed components coming from environmental influences as well as from the own ship's characteristics. The speed over ground will be calculated as follows. By using the Doppler log sensor, working in bottom track mode. By using the measured values of the EM log sensor and additional information, such as drift and set. By using the difference between own ship positions within a specified time. To adjust the source of the speed over ground, click on the Speed over ground drop-down menu and select the desired source. Manual input. The speed through water and the speed over ground values can be adjusted manually. To do this, click on the Speed Through Water or Speed Over Ground drop-down menus and select Manual. Click on the drop-down menu again and select Set Speed. Enter the current speed and apply with Set. In case a manual value is presently used, a yellow circle is displayed in the line of the respective sensor value. Set drift. Depending on the choice of sensors, The values for direction and speed of the drift are computed by the system. To get an accurate measurement for course over ground and speed over ground, they have to be entered by the user. In order to enter the set and drift manually, open the Speed over Ground drop-down menu and select Set Drift. Enter the values and apply with Set. Speed and Distance. The Speed and Distance interface is a tool that displays present speed and distance travelled based on two speed sources: speed through water and speed over ground. The distance travelled is shown in two trips, Trip 1 and Trip 2. To reset the distances to 0, click on the Reset Trip buttons. To access the Speed and Distance feature, click on Tools and select Speed and Distance. Settings. In the title bar, operators can see the date and time indication with the source name and time reference mark, UTC or local time. To open the date and time setup, click on this area. If required, enter the desired value manually by using the date and time spin boxes in case the GNSS or clock unit time is missing. Confirm with Apply. To change the time zone, use the time zone spin boxes. Confirm with Apply. To adjust the time zone's display, activate either the UTC checkbox or the local checkbox. To confirm, click on Apply. To change the time source, click on the Selected drop-down menu and select the desired time source. The selected or changed date and time source is valid system-wide.